Hey everybody, welcome to a impromptu update on RV travel over the next couple of months, a couple of weeks anyway. I'm Mike Wendland, and we are coming to you live tonight from Okaloosa Island, Florida. And we're still in our condo down here. We did an update last Friday, and a number of you have written and said, "Will you just kind of do updates and keep us up to date and just talk to us?" So I'm calling this our virtual campfire, and we'll try and do this on Friday nights, and we still do our regular live Ask Us Anything on Sunday. But consider this kind of a virtual campground for a campsite for campfire for tonight. I probably should have scheduled it a little bit later because I scheduled it and then we were out in front cooking ribs, grilling some barbecued ribs. Wish you all were here for it. Would stay 6 feet apart, and then I had to rush up and I should have scheduled a little later because I missed the ribs. The ribs are done now. Hey, hi to Lola who joins us, traveling down the banisters. They're here. Kevin Kramer, hope all is well. You too, Kevin. Nina Young is on. Ted Batchtel in Reno. Hi, Ted. Nell Photo says hi. Linda McCoy checking in. And let's see. Anthony Rome is here from Fargo. Hey, Anthony, how you doing, man? 100 watching already, and this is a Friday night. That's you can tell we're all home, right? We're all social distances. Hello to Cynthia. And yeah, Bo is here. Jennifer and Bo are out in the other room. And Maureen joins us from British Columbia, Canada. Shirley is just up the Gulf Coast from us here in Pensacola. Mike's is in Jersey, which is under a shelter-in-place order, as I saw today. M. Santiago from Florida, and Rhonda from North Carolina. Wow, let me go quickly through this, and I'll cover all of them, and then I can give you some updates. Cindy's in Fort Worth. Efren in the Philippines. Hey, welcome, Efren. And he says he's an avid fan. Efren, write in the comments. Tell us what the coronavirus situation is in the Philippines. Have you seen the shutdowns? I wonder that we're seeing here in the U.S. Kathy Dawson in my state of Michigan, near Clarkston, not too far from our hometown there. Mark DeWitt's in Sonoma, California, also under a shelter-in-place order. And let's see, did I miss anybody? I got Renee in PGH, wherever that is. Richards in Fort Myers, ready to go to Alaska May 1st or not. And the Boondocking Hyenas in Maine. KK Kayak in Monticello, Wisconsin. I'm going to get this done. Lakeland, Florida, the RV Monster. Linda Tripp in Missouri. And Helen says, I found out today that the Grand Canyon would be open, but all amenities will be closed until May 26th. Yeah, but the Mather Campground in the Grand Canyon is open. Susan is in northern Indiana. Not much else to do but watch us in Chicago. Yep, Illinois is also under a shelter-in-place order. And in self-isolation is Alan. Charlene is in Nova Scotia. Hi, Mike. I lived right down the road from you, just north of the high school in Bay City, Michigan, I bet that was. And Larry's in Pendleton, Oregon. All right. I caught up with everybody, and I always like to do that. So welcome to we're going to call this our Friday night virtual campground. And I'm going to try and do this maybe a couple of times a week since we are all under either lockdowns, self-quarantines, or self-isolation. And isn't that good? Isn't that good that as a nation, largely, we're coming together? There's still some people that are making political snipes. Stop it. Stop it. That's not needed now. What we need to do is all come together, right? So I want to talk to you just a little bit about RV travel during this week. It has been an eventful week, we will all agree, right? And I had a post on our Facebook group, and I also had a blog post on rvlifestyle.com. And here's my take on it. If you did not read that, let me just say that as we know it, for now, the RV lifestyle has come to an end. And we all need to get our minds around that. This is not the time for us to be out traveling and going from place to place and enjoying all the things that have caused us to love the RV lifestyle. We are all in this together, whether we're Canadians or Americans, we're North Americans, and both of our countries have asked us to limit social contacts, and that's what we're going to do. And that means limiting non essential travel. Let's talk a little bit about what is essential travel. There are about 10 million RVers in the US, and I don't know how many in Canada, probably a couple more million, but 10 million in the US. And it's estimated that at most, maybe 1 million are full timers. So let's put those million over here for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. But of the 9 million who are RVers, most of them are part timers, sometimes half the time of the year, maybe like us, about 3/4 of the time. Some of you are just weekends when you can and a couple of weeks of vacation. For all of us, my advice, and it's the advice that you're hearing from all of our national, governmental, and health leaders, the advice is simple: stay put, stay where you are. Don't go traveling. And I think that's, the most important thing I can say to all of us is that we need to follow that advice. Stay put, limit our contacts. For how long? I don't know. The start of this week, they wanted us to follow that 15-day plan, and that's probably going to be extended. These are unprecedented times. None of us have gone through anything like this before, but I think we're going to get through this just fine. I really do. Yeah, I know the economy's in shambles. Incomes are up in arms. We're all in the same boat. And that kind of, I think, helps us all to take a deep breath and realize that it's not all about us. It's all about us getting through this together and helping as few as people as possible to get this very serious virus. Now, my demographic, the people who watch me, generally are in the boomer generation. And I know many of you have heard, the Wall Street Journal had a big story about, is a generational war coming? Are the millennials getting the boomers sick? And, there's a joke, a parody hashtag out there about the virus, and it's hashtag boomer remover. Now, don't get up in arms about that. That's humor. And it's if you could step back, we can laugh at that because it is the boomers, the baby boomers, who are most vulnerable to this disease. Although we're seeing it's younger people as well. So I don't want to even go there with all of that stuff. I want us all to have that feeling that like we're around the campfire together, and we have a challenge, and we have a challenge for the next few weeks, maybe month, maybe another couple of months, but this will come to an end. All viruses do. And we're going to get a handle on this thing. So my advice is for the 9 million of you who are either part-time or occasional RVers, even if you have trips planned in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Bo is agreeing with me, even if you have trips planned the next 2 or 3 weeks, put them on hold. Don't think cancel. Think postpone. See, that's all in our head. Don't think cancel. Think postpone. We're just going to postpone things until we get a grip on this, and we will. Now, I mentioned the 1 million or so full-timers. And if you are a full-timer out there, you have, as you know, many more extra challenges. And I want to just talk about those, and then we'll go to some questions and comments. There's a lot of you on there tonight on our virtual campfire. For you full-timers, my advice to you, and it's the advice that you would get from any of your health experts, your governmental experts, is find a place and hunker down. Now, it's true, many state campgrounds have closed, but many are still open. Most of the U.S. federal campgrounds and the national park campgrounds, most of them are open, although there are a whole bunch of them that are closed. So you need to be on top of what's open and what's not. Most private campgrounds are still open. I looked today, and most, not all, but most KOAs that I could find, at least on the route I was looking at, if we go back to Michigan, are open. So my advice to you is get somewhere in the next couple of days and stay there. Just hunker down, plan for a couple of weeks. Maybe it'll be longer, but a couple of weeks. Um, this is not a time to say, well, what's open? I think I'm going to go tour Florida. All the Florida state campgrounds are closed. And Florida, where we are right now, is it's not under a lockdown, but all of the beaches are closed. Almost all of the beaches are closed. We are on the Emerald Coast. We have a condo here. That's where we're coming from. And I love the beach. That's why we're here. We fell in love with this. We found this part of our RV lifestyle, and this is our base. We had planned to stay here for a week or so and then use this to go and explore. We're just going to stay here for a while. My RV is great. I just was out in it today doing some maintenance, fixing up a couple little things, doing a little upgrades. It's fine, and we're going to stay here. But they closed all of the beaches here in Florida um, as of 5 o'clock tonight, at least the ones out in front of us. And we're all across now the what they call the Emerald Coast of the Florida Panhandle. Beautiful area, beautiful beaches. Just before I came in, as I said, I was out barbecuing on our patio out there, and the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department was going up and down the beach, and they were telling a few people there that the beaches are now closed. Um, in the morning, all the beach accesses will be blocked and shut down, and the police will be asking everybody on the beach to leave. What they're frankly trying to do here in Florida is send all of the spring breakers home. And a lot of it is the result of some really bad publicity that came primarily out of Miami Beach and out of Clearwater Beach on the Gulf side of spring breakers, college kids. I mean, it's spring break. They're having fun, as they always do. And in the midst of all this, these pictures got a lot of people riled. And so all these shutdowns have been necessitated. In our area, we don't get a lot of spring breakers. There's a few. There were a few partying this week, but that's all gone. I feel terrible for all of the people who had spring break vacations at this time because most of them have been canceled because you can't go on the beach. Now, that's Florida. And why did I spend so much time talking about Florida? Because this is going to happen in the next couple of 3 weeks all across the country. In our big cities, in our big states, California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, I predict Michigan will be next. You're going to see, as Governor Gavin Newsom did in California yesterday, people ask to shelter in place. Doesn't mean you can't go out. You can go to the stores, you can go to the pharmacies, and in most places you can go walk your dog. Bo was happy about that. That's happening across the northern part of our country. And soon it will spread, I think, across all of the country. You've heard all the experts say we have to get a grip on this. We got to flatten that curve. We need to get a T-shirt, flatten the curve over the next couple of weeks. This is the time to do it. So we're not like Italy and other countries. For us RVers, that means postponing, not canceling our trips, hunkering down, whether we're full-timers, find a park, stay there for a while. I urge you to go to our Facebook group and join that group. We'll get you approved real quickly. We have lots of information there about people who are doing just that. I also invite you to go to the rvlifestyle.com travel blog. Look at our most recent RV podcast. I did a list of, there's a link to our friends at Campendium, which are doing a state-by-state, campground-by-campground list of what's open and what's closed, because it's changing every hour. But hunker down. Okay, let me do some of the questions, and my goodness, there are a bunch of them on there, and I got to go way back. And if you have a question, type in question all in comments, and I'll see if I can pick up some of these. Let's see, here we go. Sharon Childress, since we had to cancel our trip to Florida right now, we plan to go to Glacier later on. Okay, I don't know if that's a question, but Glacier, normally, it opens late, but usually the going to the Sun Road, which is the big road that goes up through the park, doesn't open until July. So Sharon, you might be just fine by then. I did notice that Yellowstone is postponing the opening of its campgrounds until late May. But you should be fine, Sharon, going to Yellowstone. Um, so Linda says, please push like. Okay, thank you, Linda. I always forget to promote myself. Give us a thumbs up. There's a little thumbs up button somewhere down there. Click that and give us a like, and that'll help YouTube find us. Thank you, Linda, for reminding me to tell everybody that. Oh, hey, wait, I got a new thing on here, and here it is. Let's see if this works. Look at that. I'm going to leave that up. So we're doing these updates fairly regularly, and people are always saying, well, I didn't see that. How do I know it? So there we go. If you subscribe to the channel, and then you can click on a little bell icon that we have, and you'll be notified when we go on live with an update like this or when we have new videos. So I'm going to leave that it's a new feature on this program that I use for this. So make sure you have subscribed to us. And again, if you have some questions, type in question. Janet Matthews, my friend in Michigan, says she's watching lots of TV here. Yeah, but there's no sports on, Janet. So watch a lot of YouTube videos. Can you recommend a campground in or near Glacier? The one that we have really liked, it's on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation. And it is, oh gosh, what's the name of it? Something Bones Campground. Chewing Bones? I think it's Chewing Bones Campground on the Blackfeet Nation. It's on the eastern side near the Many Glaciers exit. And it's a really nice campground. You might have to, they don't have a lot of amenities there, but it's perfectly located. And if you can get in there, it's Chewing Black Bones Campground. It's on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Montana. So check that out, and you can find that. So let's go through. A lot of you, the boondocking manas are self-isolated. Lots of you, like Alan, is praying that we stay healthy. God bless everybody. You too, Alan. Let's see. I'm looking for questions because we are all talking about it. Let's just share some of your comments. I'm just picking them at random. I'm not going to get to all of them because there's so many on there. But Mark, aren't we lucky? With an RV, we can travel wherever we want and self-isolate and get back to nature. Let me talk about that a little bit, though, Mark. Yes, we are lucky. We're very blessed that we can do this. But here's the thing about traveling during this period of time. How do I say this without, I'm just going to say it. There is a resentment building across North America towards RVers and towards visitors who are coming into their community. But RVers, even though, we say we're self-contained and everything, we're buying their groceries, and you know how bare some of the shelves are. And in some of these smaller communities, it's a real balance meeting the needs of those people who live there. So when there's an influx of out-of-towners, strangers, visitors, RVers, there is a resentment that you're taking the supplies for us. There's also a worry by health officials in many of our smaller communities that should we get sick, we are overtaxing an already overtaxed community health system in those smaller communities. So that's why I'm telling you, don't go traveling right now. Go someplace, hunker down, stay there. You still might get resentment because people will look at all those RVers in that park. That may happen. But if we're going in and out, it's not going to work out well. It really isn't. This is unprecedented, and it's just a matter of... I can silence my phone, so let me... there we go. So Jennifer's got it. So be careful of that. Just be aware that that's what happens in times of crisis. Nerves get on edge, and we can be perceived as taking resources, even though we say we're self-contained. If we get sick, we're going to go to their doctors and to their hospitals, and in smaller communities, they can barely cover what they have. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I'm not being an alarmist here. I'm trying to be practical and have us all do the right thing, which is hunker down someplace. And an RV is a great place to hunker down. So be careful. All right, looking for some more of your questions. As Tom says, this too will pass like a kidney stone. Never pleasant, right? But it does usually pass sometimes. Sometimes you have to have a little help blast that stone, but hopefully that won't be here, and it will. I looked up that saying, by the way, Tom. You know where that comes from? People say it's in the Bible. It's not in the Bible, although it's linked to King Solomon. That saying, "This too shall pass." This is the trivia I learned. What do you do when you're self-isolated, right? So there was a story about King Solomon, and he asked a bunch of his wise men. He said, "I want to have a ring with an inscription on it that is a magic ring. It can make a happy man sad and a sad man happy." They couldn't come up with anything. And so he finally did, and he wrote on this ring, "This too shall pass." Well, think about it. If you're happy and you read that, that means I'm going to get sad. And if you're sad, that means you're going to get happy because this too shall pass. Anyway, this is a virtual campground, right? I can share trivia with you guys. Lola, it's weird in the hospitals. Very low census, like all the water being drawn out to sea before the tsunami wave. Yeah, no, but see, in many places, our hospitals are always overloaded right now. And so it gets crazy. I'm going to turn off my little, I'll see if I get any subscriptions out of that thing tonight. But anyway, that's my new scroll thing. And I'll put stuff up on that as we do others. Um, yeah, the hospitals are told no elective surgery. And for us, the best thing for us to do as RVers is to stay healthy. We do that by not being too close to other people. Efren, who is in the Philippines, I asked him earlier what it was like there, and he says the largest of three major island groups in the Philippines, in Luzon, we are on enhanced community quarantine, similar to your shelter in place in the U.S., but stricter. They have 230 cases. That's a lot for an island, and 18 deaths. And nobody wants any of those numbers to go any higher. Shanna, I was going to buy my RV Tuesday, but the president says stay put, don't travel if you don't have to. I stayed out, and I'm praying my RV will still be available when this craziness is over. Call whoever you were buying it from, make arrangements to give them a deposit, and it will be there. It will be there. So, wow, you guys in a house. Yes, I am not a full-timer. If I was a full-timer, I'd have to be alone. I don't even think Bo would even go with me full-time. We're three-quarters timers. We have a house in Michigan, and we bought a condo. This is a rental property that we have. We came this week, and this is the week we get it set for the rental season, which is really May through August down in this part of Florida. And now we're kind of sheltering in place here. Although we may be heading back to Michigan to answer Tom's question. We may. We were thinking of going this week, and we're thinking of next week. But I just looked at the thermometer. It's 35 degrees in Michigan right now. It's 78 degrees here right now. So 78, 33. It's crazy. It's all crazy. All right. KOAs are allowing you to cancel without the $10 cancellation fee. Many campgrounds are indeed doing that. And Paul, we were on a 2-month trip in our FX. That'd be the Leisure Travel Van Unity FX, same model we have. Had to come home from New Mexico to New Hampshire, over 5,000 miles traveled. Paul, you did, I think, the right thing. You don't know what the situation will be like when you get back there. There are all sorts of strange rumors and warnings that are out there. As I think they said today, our leaders said today in the White House task force press conference, check things out. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. There's some wild rumors going on, and some of them are being sent by enemies of this country trying to upset you. So, check things out. Check your sources, make sure they're reliable. But I think it's wise advice if you're not going to be on the road permanently, if you're not a full-timer, try and get home and do so sooner rather than later, and then hunker down. I don't think that's too hard for all of us to track. So hang in there, and I think you'll find that it's going to be okay. Donna, just watched another RV channel last night, and they're in Mexico, close to the border. They have no intention of returning. They will regret their decision as this may last month. Maybe, I'm sure that they made the decision based on their knowledge of firsthand knowledge rather than your distant knowledge, their firsthand knowledge of where they were. So my advice to you, Donna, is to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume they know what they're thinking about. Ray asked a question. Glad to see you're all in good health. Have you seen a preview of the new all-wheel drive Ford chassis? I have not. If you have, send me a link. But I'm really excited about that. And I know that they are just now starting to ship them to RV upfitters. But the question is are they going to be built and outfitted in the next couple of weeks? I noted that Pleasure Way, a maker of Class B plus and B RVs in Saskatchewan, they have suspended production for a while. Leisure Travel Van, which is in Winkler, Manitoba, they are still building. Most of the major RV manufacturers are indeed still building, although each state may be different because of various government orders during this crisis. But I look forward to seeing that all-wheel drive, and I think that will be pretty neat. Um, can you recommend a campground near Glacier? Sharon, I did that. You have to scroll back on. I answered that question, and you can see I did answer your question. That's a repeat. Um, the Lost RVers, Cal Rootpeg and wife. Wife was assigned to the isolation ward in an end-of-life rehab facility. Russian roulette. I think your wife must be a healthcare provider. You don't say that, but it sounds like your wife is a nurse. But that's life. Relax. This will be done right. Right? I think so. My son is a physician, and he's on call, emergency call for any of the times, and all physicians are all worried about it. They have to dress up in like a spacesuit to treat people who may have some of the symptoms. Um, I tell you, when you have a son who's a physician, it's at a time like this you realize what a true calling healthcare is for our physicians and our nurses and our EMT techs and all the people who work in hospitals. Um, Many of them, if they work at and for a hospital, have been told they can't go anywhere. They have to stay right close on call, or they can't leave the area because of the crisis that everyone expects. So, a big thanks to all those who provide that. $2 super chat. Whoo! Um, Escape vigorously with RV road trips from YouTubers. Yeah, I think you mean vicariously. That's right. Watch. There's a lot of them out there. Here's my dilemma, and I'll put this up to you. I felt I've got like 4 or 5 videos that we shot just before this really developed last week, and I normally release a produced video every Saturday. And I'm going to kind of do that every other Saturday for a while. I don't want to be encouraging people to travel. And a couple of the stories I have are with county and state parks in Florida that are and they're about ready they're shut down now. So I'm not going to release those for a week or two. But, the question is do you release new video or do you just kind of wait until I don't want, so I'm in a dilemma. I hope I'm making myself clear. I don't know whether I should keep giving the new stuff or kind of wait and practice what I preach, telling people to hunker down, and we'll do these live things more often and talk like that. What were some of your favorite camping spots in the Adirondacks? We loved, oh gosh, Whiteface Mountain, I think that is up in there, up in the northern end of the Adirondacks. That was kind of my favorite area near Lake Placid. There's a couple of videos here on the channel. If you search Adirondacks and RV lifestyle, you'll find my videos. We did a lot of boondocking. There's a KOA at Lake Placid that is one of the nicest KOAs I've ever seen. Full hookups, but you really feel like you're away from it. You're right near some raging rivers, that beautiful trout streams up there. So, but I've got a couple of videos up here on it, and you can take a look at that. More questions. Let's see. Does anyone know if water is still flowing and accessible at closed campgrounds? Well, the campgrounds are closed, so they're not accessible. So I don't know. You're not supposed to go there. So I don't know whether they turn off the water to keep people from sneaking in or anything like that. What's your favorite city in Michigan? Usually it's wherever I am. Gosh, city. Top of the head, I would say it's a tie between Grand Haven on Lake Michigan and Marquette on Lake Superior up in the UP. Those are cities, official cities. Those are the ones that came across. We're in our late 50s. What are you guys taking for vitamins? A bunch of them. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that, so I'm not going we go to a fairly a naturalist doctor who is a big believer in supplements, and he gives us a full regimen, and we follow his advice. But that's kind of off the RV lifestyle thing, and I'm not an expert in that, and I don't want to be recommending anything. Vitamin D is my favorite one, and I get that from the sun. That's another reason I like Florida, because I was just out on the beach today. Although I can't go to the beach tomorrow, we can go to the pool area, and we have a deck that overlooks the beach, so it's not going to be too bad. I see others here are recommending things like zinc, which is always good to prevent a cold, they say, and you can follow some of that. Um, Edward says Winkler is shut down well. Well, they weren't as of yesterday, and I haven't talked to them today, but yesterday they were open. So I don't know. Might be. Most of the places are trying to shut down, trying to keep people at home all across North America. Um, this may be repetitive. One reason is we're not going out. Parkland BLM land campgrounds, most remote places have only one regional hospital. They could be overrun if RVers. Thank you for saying that. That was what I was talking about just a few minutes ago. I got a lot of pushback on that when I posted it on the Facebook group. Full timers were saying, "Don't they understand? We're fully contained." Yes, you are, and that's great. But you're buying food that other people in the community, in a smaller community, you're competing with them for food. You're not paying really anything to that community. You're not a part of that community. You're an RVer, and that's great. You're self-contained. Any other time, that's wonderful. But if you get sick, you know, you take resources that people who are in that community expect to have. And that's why there is, I think, going to be a resentment about the free and easy RV lifestyle during this crisis. So stay put, stay hunkered down. If you possibly can, go someplace near your normal home and stay there, or stay with relatives in their driveway, mooch dock, as they call it. Super chat from Road Trip Buddy. Stay safe, Mike and Bo. We're trying to, and I got to tell you, this hasn't been a real challenge for us, other than that we had to postpone, not cancel. We postponed our travel plans, but we're taking Bo to the dog park every morning. We have been out on the beach. Starting tomorrow, with the beaches closed, we'll be. I wish I could turn the camera around. I can't. There's a condo next to me, and I can see two people loading up their cars because they're leaving. Spring breakers, two families, two groups of people, and so much of Florida is shut down. But I don't know where I was before I so rudely interrupted myself. But hey, I knew somebody would ask, "Hey, Jennifer, come here a minute. I got to show you where Jennifer is. She was eating. She left me. She said, "You go do the live shot. I'm going to finish food because we had barbecue. Come on in. Everybody wants to say hi to you for a minute." And here she comes. There's my bride and my lifelong traveling companion. Judy says, "Where's Jennifer?" And here's Jennifer.
Here I am. I was just finishing up eating dinner, and I'm doing laundry.
Hey, how did I do? Oh, you kind of tell us that we have a great rib recipe that we'll share with you. We got what kind of ribs are they? Country style spare ribs, weren't they?
Yes.
And how did we?
I just baked them in the oven until they're done, and then we put them out on the grill and just put a little barbecue sauce on them. And that way you don't have to stand there for an hour or so. Oh, here's Bo. He wants in on the action.
Bo, where's Bo? Is Bo
right
here? Yeah, hey, Bo, come here. Come here, Bo.
Hey, Bo.
There's Bo. There's
Come
Bo.
here, sweetie.
Bo says hello. Bo's had an issue with barking the last couple of days because we sit out on our, I can turn it there. Out there is our patio that looks out on the beach, and he's been barking, and anybody who has anything like an umbrella or
Floppy hat.
a floppy hat, he's sounding the alarm.
There are all kinds of dangers.
So Jennifer's here, and I was just saying, Jen, that our life has been pretty normal.
Yeah.
It has been pretty normal. We haven't really had any issues at all. There's some spot shortages, but nothing too bad, is there?
No, there's not. I went to the supermarket today, and there was even toilet paper.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Let's see what I've got. Thank you for being responsible and respectable at this time of crisis. Well, we're all in this together, Bill, so thank you for being nice. Marina says, saw a post where Winkler's not allowing visitors to their facility, so only shut down for visitors. Yeah, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? They were open as of yesterday, but it was a day by day, really hour by hour. And if they get Canadian officials say they should send everybody home, I'm sure that they will do that. Pleasureways stopped production, I think, today. So that was it. Could you post videos as normal with a disclaimer about the virus and holding off of RV travel? We can still dream and plan and enjoy your travels.
They're gonna have to look at the old ones.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I won't do one this Saturday because we're doing a live. Remember, I told everybody we were supposed to be this week in Alabama speaking at a RV Entrepreneurs Summit that has now been moved online, and so Sunday we are doing our live presentation online at 2:00, and so I got to prepare for that. So I won't have a video this week, but I'll have one next Monday or next Saturday. I will do it, and we will be back Sunday night with Ask Us Anything. I'm calling this our virtual campfire. So during the shutdown, we're going to try and come on Friday nights like this at 7:00 as best we can, and we will do like a virtual campground. If you want it more than that, I can talk about anything, and so can you, right?
Right.
We'll come back again, but it helps. A super chat from Steve Bitto. Thank you, Steve, for a super chat. $20.
Whoa.
I'd say
Whoa, you're gonna get some kibbles.
I'm ordering some food, but everything's closed. Hello from the Poconos. I suggest putting out your videos. It's refreshing to watch non-COVID virus. Yes, isn't it? My SS
Whoa,
Agile.
hey, now there is nothing.
Remember what I told you about him barking?
I really think.
There's more people leaving. See all these people leaving across the street?
Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
what. He hears the littlest noise.
Judy Payne, are you going to try and get back to Michigan? We
Good
still
question.
haven't. We were thinking about it. We still don't know whether we're going to. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. We had planned to kind of take off from here in the middle of April and go to Texas and New Mexico and Arizona,
Yeah.
and those plans I know are postponed.
On hold.
My word, I thought we aren't canceling stuff. We're just postponing stuff, and I think that's the way we all have to look at this.
And you're right. This is a time to dream, do your research, and plan.
Yep, and that's good. All right, virtual campfire. Any hot DOVs?
We
Hot
got
dogs. Hot dogs?
We got Bo. He's a hot dog.
Yeah, Bo is very hot dog.
He wants to go north. He hears rumors there's snow up there.
Linda says they're hunkered down in New Jersey, short on toilet paper. Should we tell them our toilet paper story?
No.
Okay, yes, we can. Well, we have a lot here
Because I keep
we
it
rent this
because
out.
we rent this condo out, so I have to. Now we're going to sound like horrible people.
No, we aren't.
Okay.
No, I was just going to say we have a bunch of it, and we're thinking that if we go home to Michigan, we'll just take a bunch with us. And then we realized I don't want to be walking out and loading that in the RV. People will see all this stuff and they'll think we're hoarders, and we're not. We just always have some here because we rent this place out.
And I stock up paper towels and toilet paper. And at home, I know I don't have any toilet paper.
And we had a couple of cancellations, but most of our people are on kind of a week by week. You know, when you have a vacation, you think about it all year round. You don't want anybody to have to cancel it, so we're telling them to think postponing it too, and we can all come back. All right.
And if they can't come, we'll certainly give them a refund.
Linda says we really love the live chatting with you guys. Thank you. We're going to make this our virtual campground. If I had Chris with us, our graphics guy, he didn't even know I'm on live. I'll just make us up.
Well, you told everybody one time, and you were Central instead of Eastern.
Yeah, well, now we're good. We got it figured out. Mike, being in the news business, how do you think the news is doing today about the virus? Too much reporting, overreacting? Oh, I wish you didn't answer. I wish I didn't put that up. I'm embarrassed for most of the journalists I see at the press conference. I'm sorry, they're drama kings and drama queens. And we're trying to listen to the government, get out information, to give us updates, give us hope. That's part of the challenge, too. And you get these pompous, arrogant, elitist journalists. Like today, there was this idiot saying, Mr. President, what do you say to all of those who are cooped up in their house with their job? And just this drama king. And trying to sensationalize. This is not a time to be make it all about you. And that's what so many of these journalists do, asking nonsensical questions instead of saying, really practical questions like, about a shutdown. What about financing? What about the banks? There's a lot of questions that responsible journalists could ask, but most of them just want to pick a fight or be dramatic. I'm embarrassed to say that I was a journalist when I see people like that, and there's so many of them, and not all, but pretty much all of them. You see them, you know what I'm talking about. They're just drama kings and drama queens,
And this isn't a time to deal on negative.
yeah.
You don't need to scare people or, it's time to look at the good.
Yep. Pete says it might be a challenge to get home. Well, Pete, that's one of the reasons we're thinking of staying here. One of the things I didn't report in our little monologue there at the beginning when I kind of went around everything is one of the changes that has happened in the last week is across many parts of the country, rest stops have shut down. Now, they've shut down access to the bathrooms because state employees, they feel would be exposed to all the people traveling through who might be bringing it. You can understand why. But it makes it very difficult to travel. Long haul truckers.
Yeah, they need those rest stops.
Yeah, I mean, many of them have, like RVs, have toilets and stuff on
Yeah,
board.
but they need places to sleep.
They do, and they need food. And but nevertheless, many of the rest
how does a
stops.
fast truck go to? I guess there are little restaurants here and there,
Yeah.
gas stations, pilots, and lots of
Yeah,
things.
so that's been another challenge. There's been no shortage of gasoline. I've heard reports from many of you who've been emailing me saying things like, that there are a lot of traffic jams on some of the roads. Most of the Canadian snowbirds left Florida, I think, on Wednesday, and so there was a lot of congestion on some of the north-south routes. And I think that's been changed a little bit. I just noticed my battery's running down. I gotta charge it. Put a charger in here. There we go. But rest areas stopped. It could be a challenge. There are some areas, like in North Carolina, that this wasn't new last week, that have put up roadblocks and are not allowing any visitors in. The Florida Keys, for example, as of Sunday, are not allowing anyone but residents to go into the Florida Keys.
And that makes sense. How's their hospital facilities?
Just what we've been talking about, why RVers should not be using this as the time to drive around the country. Get someplace, stay there. That's going to increase in the next week. They really are. Traveling Down agrees that these reporters shouldn't make it political. Stop asking how long people have to do this. No one knows. It's like asking for lottery numbers. Very good.
I like that.
I like that. And now, Pete says states are trying to shut off borders. I have not heard that. Somebody down at our where we're all cooking out down here because these restaurants are closed. Said, they're closing the state borders. I have not heard of it. It'd be pretty hard to close state borders. It really would be. I have not had reliable reports that is happening, and I don't think it would happen. So.
There might be drama as to who could be first.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Let's not give him any ideas.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right. Turn up the audio. Well, that's about as loud as I can get.
I'm
The
too
audio
far
is,
away.
Yeah, the audio is
far
loud.
away.
I mean, I'm looking at the meters, so turn yours up.
Well, I was far away. The microphone's here.
All right. So we're going to end this now. I think I still have a barbecue rib I can go eat.
You got one more.
Got one more?
Yeah.
You can see what I'm thinking about now. I'm going to eat my rib. Folks, we're going to get through this. We're going to be traveling. We're going to be doing that this year. It's going to be okay. Stay put, hunker down, watch a lot of YouTube videos, and join us next time on our Sunday night Ask Us Anything. And I got to show you. You haven't seen
We
this.
got to try to get it straight Eastern and Central time.
Yep. We'll be 7 Eastern time. Look at this.
Right.
Oh, that's not what I want. Where is it? Right here. Look at that. We got I'm going to put the little crawler across the screen. This is the new update to our program that we used to go on the line here. And so that's the thing. We may come on if something shapes. We get a lot of questions. If there's something we need to talk about. And the way for you to do it is, one, make sure you're a subscriber to the channel, and then click the bell icon. And then you will get a little notification that will tell you when we're coming on live with an update or with a new video. So please do that. give us a thumbs up before we leave, okay? We would
And
really like that.
don't you told everybody knows. Make sure they're praying for the hospital and the
Yes.
emergency responders and all these people that are in harm's way.
Yep. And for each other.
Yeah.
Check on folks.
Yeah.
Stay clean. Wash your hands. Practice social distancing.
Do I say how I freaked out the other day?
Yeah, you can end it with that.
I freaked out a couple days ago when it dawned on me that we have to use, well, got stairs, but we were using the elevator. And I thought about the buttons, but I never thought about the air. No.
Oh, yes.
The air.
Do you hold your breath when you go in the elevator?
I thought, oh my goodness, I forgot elevators, not only the buttons. So just silly stuff you think about,
Yeah.
but important stuff these days.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. We'll see you Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Ask Us Anything. I don't know whether we'll be on the road trying to head back to Michigan. And I almost kind of want to do that and do like a video journal of escape from Florida, or and it might be worth doing to document what it's like traveling on the road. So if we do that, maybe we'll do that, and we'll try and go. Hey, I just saw a couple comments. Robin Hood joins us from the UK. Hospitals in London under a lot of stress. All of our big cities, that's happening here. And that's one of the reasons, again, why we're telling RVers, stay put, don't go traveling a lot right now. Get someplace, hunker down. Let's not overwhelm hospital services if we can help it. And it's not good. So there you go. You guys are great. We sure enjoyed being with you and talking with you. And spread the word. We will be back. Give us a likes up. And until then, God bless you. And we'll see you on the road. Take care.
Happy trails.